So, what if I told you there's a hidden kingdom of life all around us? One we constantly, and I mean constantly, misunderstand. Today, we're going to go on a mission to uncover the true identity of fungi. So, let me ask you, when you see a mushroom, what do you think it is? A weird kind of plant? Maybe some simple animal? Or is it something else entirely? That right there, that's the central mystery we're going to solve in this explainer. And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, it's absolutely staggering. Scientists estimate there could be up to 3.8 million different species of fungi out there. To put that into perspective, we've only officially named about 150,000 of them. That means over 95% of this kingdom is still a vast, unexplored frontier. All right, here's our game plan. We'll start with why fungi are so misunderstood in the first place. Then we'll look at their basic blueprint, figure out how they eat, see where they live, and understand how they've shaped our world. And for the grand finale, we'll reveal their surprising relatives in the tree of life. Let's dive in. Okay, first up, the misunderstood kingdom. And here's the most important thing to get right away. Fungi don't fit into our simple little boxes. They are not plants, they're not animals. They are so different, they get their very own unique kingdom. So, what's the official definition? Well, fungi are eukaryotic, which just means their cells have a nucleus, just like ours. They're also heterotrophic, a fancy way of saying they can't make their own food like plants do with photosynthesis. Instead, they get it through absorption. And this group includes everything from the yeast in your bread to molds and, of course, mushrooms. So let's get into the fungal blueprint. To really figure out what fungi are, we need to look at what they're made of at the cellular level. And this right here is where we find our first huge clue. When we get down to the nitty-gritty, we find this massive difference. Plant cell walls are made of cellulose, right? That's what gives them structure. But fungi? Their cell walls are made of something totally different, chitin. And here's the kicker. Chitin is the exact same tough stuff that makes up the exoskeletons of insects, spiders, and crabs. Right away, that's a major clue that fungi are not what they seem. And check this out. This shows us what a fungus really is. You see that mushroom? That's just the tip of the iceberg. It's more like the apple on a tree. The real organism is this massive, hidden network of tiny threads called the mycelium. It can stretch for miles and miles underground. That's the main body. So, if they're not plants, they're not doing photosynthesis. And if they're not animals, they're not, chewing and swallowing food. This brings us to a really cool part: how fungi eat. They have a method that just sets them completely apart from everyone else. It's called absorptive nutrition, and it's basically a three-step process. First, that mycelium network pumps out these powerful digestive enzymes right into its surroundings, like onto a dead log or into the soil. Step 2, these enzymes break down all the food outside the fungal body. It's like having your stomach on the outside. Finally, the mycelium just soaks up all those simple, pre-digested nutrients. This super unique way of eating lets fungi live pretty much anywhere and have all these wildly different lifestyles. Which brings us right to our next section: fungi. Here, there, and everywhere. You can basically sort them into three main roles. First, you've got the saprophytic fungi. These guys are the planet's ultimate recycling crew, breaking down all the dead stuff. Then you have the parasitic fungi, which, as the name suggests, feed on living hosts. And finally, the mutualistic fungi, which form these incredible partnerships, like the underground networks that help trees talk to each other and share nutrients. Now, because of these lifestyles, fungi have a huge impact on our world. I mean, profound. This brings us to how they've shaped our lives. They're responsible for some of the best and, some of the worst things. They're the good, the bad, and the absolutely essential. Let's start with the good side. Seriously, where would we be without them? The antibiotic penicillin? It comes from a mold, and we have yeast, a fungus, to thank for our bread, beer, and wine. From life-saving medicine to our favorite foods, they are just crucial to civilization. But, of course, there's a flip side. Fungi are also a major cause of plant diseases that can threaten our entire food supply. Some can be nasty human pathogens, causing all sorts of infections. And yep, they're the reason that loaf of bread you forgot about on the counter is now a fuzzy green science experiment. Okay, so we've gathered all the evidence: the chitin in the cell walls, the crazy external digestion, their different jobs in the ecosystem. It is finally time to solve our mystery and reveal where fungi really fit in the grand tree of life. And here it is, the final critical piece of the puzzle: energy storage. Plants, they store their extra energy as starch. But fungi? Fungi store their energy as glycogen. And guess who else stores energy as glycogen? We do. Animals do. So let's just lay it all out on the table. Nutrition, totally unique. Cell walls, made of chitin, not cellulose like plants. Energy storage, they use glycogen, just like animals. I mean, when you put all the evidence together like this, the answer becomes undeniable. And here is the mind-blowing conclusion. Fungi are more closely related to animals than they are to plants. That's right, every mushroom, every bit of mold, every yeast cell. It's a closer evolutionary cousin to you than it is to any tree or flower on this planet. So the mystery is solved. Fungi aren't weird plants. They are our very, very distant relatives in the kingdom of life. Which leaves us with one final, fascinating thought. Now that we know their family, what can this incredible hidden kingdom teach us about our world and maybe even about ourselves?